There was a wrongness in the air the night I began to notice it, a sweetness that sat like a bruise beneath the taste of rain, streetlights blinking with the same tired cadence as a metronome, and a hush in crowded rooms as if the whole city were holding its breath for something unnamed. My work had been coaxing dread out of people, an artisan of pauses and raised hairs, training bodies to tilt toward silence, but the pauses began to pause back, as if the silence had learned a mannerism and was now practicing it. At first, the signs were obediently indirect. Audience members would glance for a second too long at the exit and then force a laugh. Their phones displayed photographs of places they had not visited. Images arranged with faint, impossible constellations, like private constellations smuggled into glass. I taught them to lean into stillness. Stillness learned to lean back. In the margins of my scripts, little symbols began to appear. Ink blotches that, when examined, resolved into hard, prismatic angles. The corner of geometry slipped out of place. Those who came to be frightened left with a different look, not only unsettled, but as if some reader had gone through them and set them down altered, their edges shifted. It grew personal. I began to misplace entire evenings. I would stand on stage, sure I had said one line, and later find notes in my coat describing whole lifetimes of conversation I could not remember living. Faces in the crowd blurred at their edges, then sharpened into maps. Veins running like constellations I could trace with a fingertip. Mirrors stopped reflecting my mouth immediately, and, on certain nights, suggested doors I did not know how to open. I told myself it was exhaustion, craft invading sleep, the margins between actor and audience fraying, but the fray became an aperture, and beyond it sat something slick and patient. The confrontation was never horned or bellowing. It arrived as attention, the way a story calls focus and then uses that focus as a key. In a downtown theater, under a projector that hummed a pitch my teeth could feel, the auditorium bent. Rows folded into angles that made my knees question their purpose. The ceiling opened like a throat, not to swallow, but to listen. It had no face I could fix a name to. It had a grammar of looking, an intelligence that composed silence into syntax. When I attempted a final line, the line read me instead, drawing out a vocabulary of old stars and new knives of light that rearranged chairs into a constellation. I tried to close the scene, locks, sealed windows, writing the last word in black ink. But endings are hospitable things. They invite tenants. I am here still, arranging words into warnings while the hush watches for cracks, and the house keeps its patient tenant, learning how to wait.